Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're taking a look at a little more of our previews for the Imperial Knights Codex on the horizon. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe, really helps out the channel, and it's absolutely free. If you do enjoy daily content on Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, and Horus Heresy, this is the spot for you. How veteran knights use knightly teachings to empower their Armiger inquiries. The low roar of chainswords and Gatling cannons is getting louder and louder as Codex Imperial Knights and the Chaos Knights army set march their way to release. Faced with fallen nobles empowered by the favor of the Dark Gods, the forces of the Imperial Knights have the odds stacked against them. But that's just how they like it. What better way to win glory with conquering a true challenge? While the terrifying new knight Abominant wields blasphemous psychic powers, the Imperial Knights honor the wisdom of their household most grizzled veterans. These knightly teachings offer a range of abilities that can inspire even lesser knights to improve their worth on the battlefield. Pretty cool battle going on there. See a bunch of the new knights clashing with a bunch of the loyal knights. Very cool. The Knight Preceptor strives to set an example to younger comrades. As such, it has the mentor keyword and can pick 3 knightly teachings from a list of 6. Each preceptor can recount up to 2 of its teachings in your command phase. Rolling a d6 for each on a 3-up, that teaching was inspired enough to light a fire in the souls of their Armiger class squires. Knight armies march to war with only a handful of units, so losing the firepower of even a single Armiger Halverin while it completes a vital battlefield action is a punishing blow. Thankfully, sage pilots can extol the virtues of multitasking, or rather the folly of mercy. So the folly of mercy is one of these command abilities. So you have 2 of them that you can use per phase out of the 3 that you chose, and then they'll go off on a 3+. If this teaching is inspiring, so similar to like a chaplain for Space Marines, or like a what are they called? The ethereals for Tau. If this teaching is inspiring, select 1. Noble Household Armiger class model within 12 inches of this mentor. The model can perform an action and make a normal move and shoot without the action failing. So you need to perform an action, raise banners or something like that. You move your knight up to it, you inspire him, and then he can do it and then still shoot this turn and make a normal move without it failing. So pretty nice. Definitely a cool ability. Going to be useful for, we were talking about how essentially the knights definitely need some changes if they're going to be able to be competitive or fun. And that's definitely the type of thing. So it said specifically in the beginning, Knight Preceptors have this ability. So we don't know if anybody else is going to be able to take this, if the rest of the knights could have a weaker version of this ability and the Preceptors are just the best at it, or if that's just a reason now to take the Preceptors. Once you've instructed an Armiger class ally within 12 inches, it can perform an action even while staying mobile and laying down withering fire. Perfect for securing crucial secondary objectives without missing a beat. These strict teachings can also expound at length on the importance of the Code Chivalric, a battle-forged army, while hit the table wielding the righteous power of 2 oaths. With the Warrior's Hope, you can throw a surprise task and ask students to recite a 3rd. So Warrior's Hope, if this teaching is inspiring, select 1 Noble Household Armiger class model within 12 inches of the mentor. Select 1 Oath from the Code Chivalric that is not active for your army. The Oath is active for the Armiger class model, and it gains all of the relevant chivalric abilities for your army's level of honor, but it does not gain the Oath's pledge or troth. Note that this Oath is active even if every unit from your army does not have the Imperial Knights keyword. So you have 2 of these active already just for your base army, and then this lets you activate a 3rd on just a single model. So you can kind of like pick and choose what the most useful oath would be to basically buff this single model for a turn. Pretty cool. Neat little ability. This teaching permits a nearby Armiger class unit to benefit from a chivalric ability for an oath of your choice. Why not ask an Armiger warglaive to refuse no challenge for a bonus to its charge rolls and melee hit rolls? You'll still need enough honor points to qualify for those abilities, but you won't gain the oath's pledge or troth, so you can act without fear or disgrace. Okay, that's interesting. So you'll still have your current existing oath and troth, but you won't gain the one from this ability. So if it says basically you can't fall out of combat, or you lose one of your points, that won't affect it. But it will, however, gain like the re-rolling. So pretty neat little ability. Essentially a way to kind of cheat the system a little bit. Occasionally, all that are needed are words of encouragement, a firm iron hand on the shoulder, and a reminder that the virtue of courage can conquer even the most heinous of horrors. So the virtue of courage, this is an aura. If this teaching is inspiring, while a noble household Armiger class model is within 6 inches of this mentor, each time a model makes an attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6, 1 additional hit scored. So basically this dude has a 6-inch aura, so it can hit multiple Armigers, and then they have exploding 6s. And it just says when they make an attack. So this is exploding 6s in shooting and in combat for any Armigers within 6. While reciting this inspiring lesson, the mentor's encourage aura causes nearby Armiger class allies to land an extra strike on all hit rolls of 6. The potent benefit synergizes wonderfully with the new upgraded Reaper chain cleavers, giving your squires 8 rolls with the sweep profile and up to 16 total hits. So the 8 rolls with the sweep profile, so that means the Armiger is going to have 4 attacks. And then it has like the stab profile that does big damage with those 4 attacks, or it has the sweep profile which doubles its attacks to 8, and then it does a little less damage. But then with those 8 attacks, you would have a chance of rolling all 6s, very, very unlikely obviously, but each of those 6s would explode into another hit, so you could get a potential of 16 total hits. Not likely, but possible. And then Codex Imperial Knights contains 3 more knightly teachings to unlock the full potential of your smallest giant war engines. Combined with everything else these chivalric warriors can bring to the table, you have more than a fighting chance against the dread households. And here's a massive knight force fighting some. So here we see the first signs of potential mixed forces. So we see some Chaos Terminators here, and then a couple Chaos Knights as well. So it seems more and more likely that we will see some sort of rules or potential to have mixed forces once again, which would be pretty awesome. So more rules coming soon. So not a ton of info here. We don't know exactly if other guys are going to be able to take this or if it's just going to be the Knight Preceptor. It specifically says the Knight Preceptor strives to set an example for its younger comrades. As such, it has the mentor keyword and can pick knightly teachings. So we don't know if any of the other knights will have the mentor keyword. Seems like this is just a Knight Preceptor ability, which would make sense because obviously Chaos can't take those. Only the Imperial Loyal Knights can take them. So it seems like this is kind of a reason to take the Preceptor. Now we've already seen the profile on the Preceptor's gun. It is slightly better. Not particularly great though. So you're possibly taking him as sort of like your chaplain. So he's still a beat stick. He still has some nice shooting. But you're basically paying whatever points for him with hope to use these upgrades. So we've already seen a couple of them. They're not bad. To be able to take an action, normal move, and shoot basically stops one of your knights from having to, forgo shooting basically, which is a pretty big deal. Obviously, you don't want to lose a bunch of firepower, but you do need to score secondary objectives, or sometimes, in some cases, a primary. And then for like the Warrior's Hope, this one's pretty cool. We haven't seen a ton of what those are yet. We've only seen like half of them, but we know that there's some cool abilities there. And then not having to take the troth means that you get all the benefits without any of the drawbacks. And then obviously exploding 6s is pretty awesome. So that is definitely a cool one right there too. So these 3 look cool. Again, there's 3 more to choose from, so we don't know what those are going to be, but probably pretty cool. Maybe something on your wound roll, allowing you like reroll 1s or exploding wounds or something like that. We don't really know, or extra AP on the attacks. Could be some cool stuff. So let me know what you think so far. So now that's we've seen quite a bit of the Chaos stuff. We saw the psychic powers yesterday for Chaos. They showed off a couple of those. Pretty nice looking stuff right there. Basically with like your warp storm abilities. And obviously having the ability to smite. You can take a Zinch mark on your knight, and then he can cast 2 psychic powers and deny 1. So definitely making them able to like interact pretty powerfully. So, you know, essentially you could have 3 of those big boys in your army. You know, make one of them a Zinch Knight, or possibly, I can't remember if those were limited. I'll have to look back at that and see. But potentially having like 3 or 4 psychers could be kind of a big deal. So we'll have to see, because that allowed you to make a knight that's not normally a psyker into a psyker. So you could have 3 of the big knights that are already psychers and then make an Armiger a psyker as well. Some cool stuff so far. Obviously want to see some of the relics, warlord traits, some of like the household army-wide rules, as that's where the strength is really going to come from. I think overall the army-wide rules are the biggest, because it's going to affect basically everything. So when we start seeing those, we're going to know how awesome these guys really are. But so far it looks good. They look strong. They look fun. Hard to tell balance right now. Until we really see like the abilities and the points, we can't really judge balance that well. So, but overall, very cool, very unique. And it looks like by the time they come out, they're going to have like full books. It's not going to be just kind of like, you know, a halved version, a little subpar kind of thing, just to sell another book. Looks like they're going to have pretty full rule sets. So that is definitely exciting. But going to go ahead and wrap it up there. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. Let me know what you think down below. Are you going loyal? Are you going chaos? Or are you just going to steer the other way and take a couple extra las cannons? I always like to hear from you guys. That being said, going to wrap it up there. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.